Hello, my comrades. As you can probably obviously tell from my surroundings, I'm at a mountain. And this is no ordinary mountain. This is Mount Baker in the state of Washington. It's around 38 kilometers from the Canadian border. And it really back on a clear day. It can really backdrop on the Seattle and Vancouver skylines. So, what's so special about Mount Baker? Well, Mount Baker is actually no ordinary mountain. As I said before, it's actually an active volcano. That's right, not an extinct volcano, not a dormant volcano, but rather an active volcano, which means it's gonna probably spurt at any time, but I don't count on it right now. Volcanoes always look, enticing and whatnot. They have really nice greenery around them, right? Like, for example, Iceland, right? But they could be particularly destructive. But you've got to accept nature for what it is and realize Mother Nature's power. Out all on here, it's a mix of barren rock and greenery. The more higher you go up the mountain, and obviously snow come up. Like, I'm lucky to be in the middle of summer where there's not that much snow, but during the winter months there's obviously going to be more snow. Here's an interesting fact about Mount Baker. Mount Baker is the second most glaciated volcano in Washington state, or in the whole Cascades mountain region. Though first is obviously Mount Rainier, and you know how Mount Rainier blew. So, speaking of volcanoes, right, you're gonna find lots of volcanic rock around here, igneous type rocks. You see all down here, it's like black, charred and everything, right? Igneous rocks formed from the heat and whatnot. Say this volcano was to blow. Well, the fact that it's so glaciated is going to pose problems of lahars, and which means it's going to come flood up to all the way as far as Abbotsford, which is like north of the Canadian border. So yeah, but it's honestly very interesting to come here when clouds are running through here. I'm out here decked in short sleeves and shorts, right? And then it's 10 degrees, but it's not gonna faze me at all. I'm used to cold, but it looks so much like the meadows, of Scotland and whatnot. Like, this takes me back to, obviously Scotland. They've got hills and stuff, right? But like on an actual mountain, it takes it to even more extreme, right? Feels like I'm in those like Celtic movies, right? Where like I'm a Celtic and like going out in my village, going for war and whatnot, but we all peaceful here. So mix of greenery, and then there's all barren. And then if you're to follow me all the way past there, if you're to follow me, there's gonna be a river. There's gonna be a river just outside, just down of here, and that's a glacier-fed river. Now, if you're always pinched up if on a mountain, if you're always pinched up for water, right? If you're feeling thirsty, well, a mountain is the cleanest source to get water at, because there's glaciers and everywhere, and yeah, of course, it's gonna be very cold. You're gonna need to heat it, and obviously you always have to filter out water before you drink it. So my conventional wisdom says, take off your shirt or take some kind of fabric. You are always coming on here with some kind of fabric, right? You can use your shirt, just scoop up the water, and just pour it and just like filter it into a cup. It'll leave out so much of the residue, but it shouldn't be that much of a problem, especially with mountain water and whatnot, since you're getting it right at the source. That's the good thing about glaciers. And we should honestly keep these glaciers around for as many years as possible, because they're just beautiful to look at. I mean, I know these glaciers are not as big as, say the ones at Columbia ice fields near Banff or near Jasper, right? But you know, they just fill out the mountain. They give that like white edge to a mountain. So, you know, water, the water here is really alkaline, but it's really alkaline because it gets the minerals it needs from the source. I mean, it'll just run off and take off the minerals, leach the minerals from the rocks, which there are a lot of. And yeah. Beneath, if you were to go at lower elevations, you can see lots of trees and whatnot, because the soil around mountains is very nutrient rich. And it honestly, trees are kind of a weird situation when growing on mountains. They're not going to grow like outwards or stuff like that. They manage to keep a straight plane. Like that's so like cool to like wonder about. Then you also have like these wild flowers that always grow down here, right? Especially around volcanoes, which are mineral rich. They always deposit minerals into the ground, and thus you get lots of like species of wildflowers, lots of brush. It's a very diverse climate of. It's a very diverse environment of plants. The fauna's here. The flora here is pretty good. Some fauna you might find here are squirrels. I think there might be a deer spotted here or something. Chipmunks, you know, small rodents. And by the way, river's probably somewhere down there. We have to probably keep going, but you know, there's these many lakes kept in here, and it's all because of the glacial outflow. Deep crevasses and everything. Now, near the plateau of the mountains, right? Near these mountains, right? There's like when driving up here, there's good amounts of flat land, which are really good for farming. That's the good thing about volcanoes. Volcanoes and mountains always leave the surrounding areas really nutrient rich. Really nutrient rich. And it's very good for biodiversity, especially creating good ecosystems and whatnot. Mountain ecosystems are always like so fascinating. There's lots of species you don't even realize that rely on each other, and then as I evidenced with the wildflowers, and then yeah. So Mount Baker, here it is. Very good, and over the horizon there, you see the rivers. The rivers, all from the glacial output. Forests, everything. Now Mount Baker, I don't think it's one of the taller mountains where it has a tree line, right? It has a set tree line. It doesn't have like, I could see trees all the way up to the peak summit and whatnot, right? But you know, something's just fulfilling about seeing a mountain that has loads of vegetation. That looks like good land out there to like farm, if you ask me. We've always got to get out of our houses and really, you know, go back to how our ancestors were doing it. You know, man versus wild, just pitch yourself against the elements. We've been softened by everything by staying home, but I would suggest you all to go out and go to like a really glacial mountain or a volcano. So this is Mount Baker, and I'm signing off here. See you later.